Hey, what is up, guys? We are here today with the Ken character breakdown. If you haven't seen our character breakdown videos before, we talk about a character's notable normals, special moves, V skills, V reversals, as well as a basic game plan. Today we're talking about Ken Master. His forward walk speed and backwards walk speed is actually really fast. Has pretty average jumps, but really fast forward and backwards dashes. Pretty similar to Ryu in that regard. His back dash and forward dash are crazy quick, which means he can cover distance and do stuff like that really easily. He moves around really well, and you'll notice his walk speed is really good too, especially when he's up close. He can kind of walk around and play this back and forth game really easily. His throw leaves him in not super close to him, as you can see, but because he can cover so much distance really quick with his dash, he's in there really fast. And that's kind of how he gets around the screen, right? That's what Ken does. Now, I'm going to break order here a little bit and talk about Ken's V skill, because this is something that's a lot different than in other characters, and is also a bit of a mobility tool for him, so I wanted to start with it. He can use this to get around. He can cancel normals into this and move around the screen this way, right? And it also has a step kick that he can do out of it. Now, step kick is pretty unsafe. You do this by holding on to the V skill the whole time. Instead of just hitting it and letting go, you just hold on to the buttons, and he gets that step kick at the end. You can actually combo into that off of a couple of things there. You see, that's a 2-hit combo. Looks just like that. Has a nice little knockdown off of it. It's also V-trigger cancelable as the step kick, so that's just another thing to keep in mind. Now, that is it for Ken mobility. Let's talk a little bit about some of his normals. Crouching medium kick is the go-to. It's a little shorter than it was in other games. His sweep is also really good as well. Has a lot of range on it, and both of these are run cancelable with your V skill, excuse me. So you can cancel out of both of them. Now, keep in mind that when you do a V skill out of normals, right? So when I cancel normals into a run, most of the time you're going to be either punishable or negative. So it's not one of those things where you can just hit a button and then run and you'll always be safe. Usually it's going to be punishable, or your opponent's going to have the advantage, right? And they're going to be able to hit buttons before you can. So that's just something to keep in mind. It's an option, but not something you always want to go to. So, crouching medium kick, crouching heavy kick, right? Pretty nice. But he also has this new standing light kick. This is so good for just harassing at this range here. It goes and covers so much distance. It's cancelable into whatever you want. Tatsu, Shoryu, Fireball, anything like that. He also has standing medium punch, which goes really far. It takes up this huge distance, almost the same range as his crouching medium kick. It's a really nice button. Standing heavy kick, which you see me hitting a few times already. Big turnaround kick. It's a crush counter if it counter hits, so it's a really nice button to connect with. Crouching medium punch, which is really nice. This is your main combo starter. You can combo it into stuff like back medium punch or whatever you want to do. It's cancelable as well. He has his back medium punch, heavy punch target combo, which is really nice for starting off combos. You can do stuff like that, which is really nice for him. And he has his medium kick. This medium kick you saw me hit a couple of times already. It also has a target combo out of it. It's heavy kick, and it's late cancelable into pretty much whatever. You can combo into Fireball. You can do Tatsus. You can do uppercuts. You can do whatever you want out of it. So that medium kick, heavy kick is also there. The last button I want to talk about is standing heavy punch. Looks just like that. It's this nice big chunky up close button. This can be canceled into run, and you can actually combo out of it into like Tatsu and stuff like that. This is a really nice button. Also a crush counter. You're going to be seeing this button a lot from Ken. It's really nice. As far as jump ins go, jump in heavy kick and jump in heavy punch are really nice for jumping in the front. Jump in medium kick is mostly going to be your cross up. Let's talk about some of those crush counters I mentioned. If I just set it to stun, his pretty unique because his roundhouse sends them. It's the flip out crush counter, right? You can combo off it by canceling into run and doing stuff like uppercut into super, or just uppercut, or whatever you want to do there. His crouching heavy punch is the same way. It also sends them flying, and it's really nice for an anti-air. If your opponent jumps at you and you can do this crouching heavy punch, it'll crush counter and juggle, and then you can run up and combo after, which is really nice. His grounded crush counter is that standing heavy punch like I mentioned, and you can run afterwards and combo a bunch of stuff off of it, like back medium punch, or whatever you feel like. You can still combo your Tatsu out of it or whatever. It's really nice. You can get some pretty extended, nice combos out of it that you normally probably wouldn't be able to get. So standing heavy punch crush counter, really nice. Really, really good tool for him. As far as his special goes, you've already seen a few of them. Let me just take off counter hit. We've got our Hadoukens, so it'll just look like this. Light punch one is real slow. Heavy punch one a little faster. EX version hits twice. Now notice, EX version does not knock down. It is not a knockdown, which is pretty interesting. and a little different. It does leave his opponent standing. This is a little different in V-Trigger, but we'll get to that in a minute. His Tatsu is quarter circle back and kick. Looks just like that. It's light Tatsu, medium Tatsu, heavy Tatsu where he goes flying, which is, you saw me use earlier in a combo. Looks just like that. EX Tatsu looks just like this. Has this crazy wild out animation on it. Sends them flying. It's really nice for carrying your opponents across the screen. You can also do jump Tatsu in the air like that. It's a little bit different than other characters because he can use this to snipe people throwing fireballs. You can jump and do it from really far and juggle with stuff like uppercut, or even juggle with like normals into the run and do whatever kind of mix up you want. It's really neat. So his jump, EX Tatsu, really, really good move. You can still do Tatsus in the air. It's just like Ryu though, where you cannot do it off of a back jump. You have to do it off forward jump. You can't do it off neutral jump either. Forward jump, always. And besides that, the last special move he's going to have is Shoryuken, which is Ken's go-to. The heavy Shoryuken still has fire, so you can flame out. That's pretty legit. Also has EX, which hits 7 times, just in case you were curious and you wanted a move that hits 7 times. There you go. And that's what his Shoryukens look like. So, we talked about his V-skill a bit. We talked about how you can combo into it with stuff like that, which is really nice. You can combo out of it with stuff like Tatsu. It's a really useful tool in a lot of ways, and I just wanted to bring it up again because we're going to talk about V-Trigger in a little bit. But V-skill with Ken is really important. It's good for shimmying around at this range. You can cancel in a run and go for throw and stuff like that. It's a really nice tool. Now, his V-reversal is a little different than some characters. A lot of V-reversals in this game actually knock down, but Ken's doesn't. It's forward plus 3 kicks, and you can see there that it just hits the opponent. There's no knockdown or anything like that after. It does add white life, but yeah, it's not the most useful of V-reversals, probably not, because Ken's a really offensive character, and his V-reversal is not suited for a really offensive character like that, right? It's something that you're probably not going to see that often because more than likely he's going to want to activate his V-trigger and get in there and start getting nasty. So let's talk about that V-trigger. Now, when you activate it with Ken, he runs forward a bunch. There's a big step he takes there. You can see his feet are on fire there. Unlike Ryu, he does not gain additional stun on his moves in V-Trigger. He does gain extra damage, though. So, for instance, Heavy Uppercut does 160 damage, usually does 150 stun. It does 140 damage regularly and 150 stun still, so there's no extra stun there. But in V-Trigger, Ken gains extra juggle potential, extra hits on a lot of his special moves. So for instance, Crouching Medium Kick in a Tatsu doesn't combo outside of V-Trigger, but in V-Trigger, it actually does. And it does some extra damage there, has some extra hits. The EX Tatsu, same kind of thing. And you get extra juggle points. You can combo off of stuff like that a lot easier and a lot more consistently. So extra damage output as well as starting up combos. You can do stuff like this and do a run combo out of it and juggle with uppercut. It's really nice. So it's a really good way to start combos. It helps you extend combos. It makes Ken more explosive, more damaging. It really fits the character style. It's a really fun V-Trigger to mess around with, especially when you get into stuff like Fierce, when you crush counter with it and you cancel it into V-Trigger, and you get these massive 300 to 400 point damage combos. You throw in a super in there. It's really nice. It's definitely a really fun V-Trigger to mess around with, and I think it's a really good one. So yeah, that is it for Ken Masters. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this character breakdown. He's a ton of fun. Definitely recommend playing him if you like moving in and out, getting in there, and making stuff happen. He's a really cool character. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys again soon.